What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Red and Gold Standard Podcast. My name is Zach Hernandez, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, Mike Andrews. Our guy, Matt, is in Disneyland with the family, so it'll be Mike and I tonight previewing the 49ers' second regular season game, versus the New Orleans Saints. We got a great show planned for you guys tonight. They are dealing with some injuries. The injury bug bit early this year. Yeah, I guess maybe it's the same bite from last year. I don't really know. It seems like it never ended. But before we get into it, if you're watching on YouTube, you know the deal. Hit like, hit subscribe, hop in the chat, hop in Nothing But Niners chat. Make sure you like and subscribe there. Come over to 49ers Hive. Do the same. We really appreciate the support. And head over, if you're watching on X, make sure you hit like and repost. Hop in the chat there too. We can read the comments from X. So we really appreciate you guys' thoughts, your inputs. Even if we argue and disagree with you, we want to hear it all. Now that I got that out of the way, Mike, how you doing tonight?
I am great. Hopefully I'm not too loud. You guys out there in the chat, let me know if I'm a little too loud. I will adjust my volume. But no, I'm doing really well. Had a good night bowling, and I was a substitute. That's the best part, right? So it's like, it's one thing if you're on your team and you have a bad night, but when someone calls you to sub and they're like, like they're watching how you bowl. Like if you suck as a sub, you go in there and your average is 175 and you're bowling 130, 140. They're like, we're never asking this dude to sub again because you give points based off of your average. You know what I'm saying? And so I bowled the second highest game in the whole bowling alley. So I was very excited about that. And it was 3 games. I bowled above average all night, 10 points above average. So it worked out in our favor. We lost 1 game, but we won total pins in the last 2 games. So it was great.
Okay. Nice. That's awesome. I wish I got into bowling as much as you do because it is pretty fun. I've maybe bowled once in the past 15 years, I want to say. Yeah, and that was for my niece's birthday party about 2-3 months ago.
So I don't consider bowling a sport. It's a competition, but it is a lot of fun. I am competitive. Like I'll call out the best bowler on someone else's team and like, all right, I'm chasing you this match, right? And what happens is you end up laughing at you because you can't stop the guy from doing good, right? If they're in the zone, they're just in the zone. You can't stop them. So when I say I bowled the second highest, the person that I called out was the person that bowled the highest. And the one game that I had the second highest, he had the highest of the whole night also. Like if I had bowled that score against any one of his other games, I would have beat him, but it didn't work out that way. It was very funny. But you end up high-fiving each other. Like you talk trash and it's like competitive all at the same time. It's a lot of fun. And it's just you and just trying to figure out how to perfect what it is that you're doing. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like golf, I guess.
Yeah. It's you versus you. So that is kind of cool. You're out there by yourself. DJ, I promise we'll get to this question. I'm not ignoring you, but I don't want to get too sidetracked immediately, but I promise you we'll come back to this. I'm going to start, and we will come back. We got a interesting game scheduled for Sunday, Mike, where the 49ers have, and I've seen a bunch of people say this as well, it feels like a trap game from Blackbeard 805. 49ers take on the Saints, who were pretty tough versus the Cardinals last week. Now, you might say it's the Cardinals. Well, the Cardinals swept us last year, so make of that what you will. But they lost, and they had the opportunity to tie it. I don't know how many of you guys watched the game or saw any of it, but it was 20-13. Cardinals had the ball, and they were driving down the field. They very easily could have gotten it in the end zone to tie it and push to overtime, or maybe even went for 2. Spencer Rattler is at quarterback. Historically, we've kind of struggled versus these more mobile quarterbacks. And I'm kind of bearing the lead here, right? Because the biggest problem is Brock Purdy isn't playing. Brock Purdy is out with a toe and a shoulder injury. The 49ers must lead the NFL in players who finish a game, go to a press conference, go to dinner, go home, and then wake up the next morning with a broken leg. Like, no other team deals with it the way that we deal with it. But sure enough, come Monday morning, Brock's hurt. And then it went from he's questionable, he's not practicing, to he's out, 1 to 3 weeks. And now it's 2 to 5 weeks based on Rap Sheet's reporting. Very much so. And it is with a turf toe variant. It's like we're in Marvel or something. We're in the multiverse.
We're making up injuries and stuff. Like we unique to 49ers only injuries.
Right. It's insane. And I said this in the group chat earlier, and I kind of knocked on wood, and I almost wish I didn't say it. The one player that is out is obviously huge in that it's Brock Purdy, but otherwise it's a very small injury list for the 49ers. I don't know if you saw it, Mike, but it's just Purdy, and then Trent and Juwan are questionable. Trent didn't practice all week, which I made a joke. I'm glad nobody got offended by it because I feel like we all could use some humor this week. And I said, Trent, questionable, parentheses, age. Like, the dude is just old. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. We're going to be wheeling him out there to the field pretty soon. You know, it's like, did you know he was hurt coming off of Sunday's game?
Yeah, so there was a play. He missed a couple of snaps.
Oh,
Someone rolled
you know
up
what?
on his leg.
You're right. Now that you
Yeah.
mention it, he got hurt in the game and then he returned.
Yes, but he did return. Yes, but it's like I just don't know how to call it with Trent, and I wasn't too pleased with his overall performance. I don't know if are we doing any of the recap from last game, or are we just going straight into this? Because I don't want to jump ahead. We did do a show already.
feel
So
free,
okay,
feel
all right,
free.
fine. No, so it's just with Trent in particular. I've been saying it all like preseason, and like I just don't like how much he's not practicing, and so I feel like you ever go like running for the first time in a long time, like when you haven't done it, and like the next 3 days you're just so sore, like that recovery time. But then if you are doing it consistently, the next day you feel fine.
Right.
And I feel like Trent hasn't gotten to the point of consistent practice, so he feels fine all the time. And that's the concerning part to me is like, dude, you got to go out there and you got to start feeling fine, if that makes any sense. I would love for him to start feeling fine. And I just don't know. I understand that the age and all that stuff, but like he's playing football. You can't keep using age as an excuse. So I do have my concerns about Trent. Juwan Jennings fighting through his, I believe it's the shoulder, right? So, I mean, we have to see how it goes. And you were talking about, like, how close that game was with Arizona. Yeah, like, the Saints aren't going to lay down for anybody. And the Niners struggle with 5-man plus fronts as far as protecting the quarterback and even getting off in the run game. So it's going to be a very interesting game for sure. Not a trap game, by the way. I don't think any team in the entire league is saying we don't have our tight end, we don't have our quarterback, we may not have, or we have a banged-up left tackle, and we're going to win this game. Like a trap game is a game you expect to win handily, and you overlook the opponent. There's no way the Niners are overlooking anybody. So we can just nip that trap game comment at the bud right now. Like it's not a trap game. It's far from it.
I thought it was a trap game coming out of Seattle. Before I knew of any of these injuries, before I knew Brock Purdy was hurt, I just thought it's a emotional win that came down to the wire Sunday in Seattle, and you're kind of asking for a letdown the following week. Now that the 49ers know what they're going into this game with, right? I can't imagine that it would be a trap game because they have to know what they're going into war with, pretty much. You know, it's Mac Jones, you got a banged up Juwan, and you got a banged up Trent. And Trent did not look good last week. So if he does not go, which he was questionable, I feel like since they got rid of probable, I don't know if they got rid of doubtful. Maybe I'm wrong. Is it just questionable or good to go now? I don't know what the official.
I think it's like out, questionable, and then you're not there anymore. They got rid of the third one though.
I think that was probable.
Probable. Yeah, so it's
So
doubtful, questionable.
Okay. I feel like Trent is closer to doubtful and Juwan is much closer to probable because Juwan did practice. Trent did. I saw reports. I saw both. I saw that he didn't practice all week. I saw then reports that he remained on the sidelines to start, but then eventually practiced today. So I don't know which one was true, but either way, he clearly isn't 100%. He had a very bad game last week against Seattle. Hopefully, I said this last week, not every defense the 49ers face is going to be coached by Mike McDonald and have Seattle's defensive line. They have some dogs. Tip your hat to them. They got after it. Thankfully, not every team's going to have that. As far as the Saints, that's the 49ers injury report. Purdy out, Trent, Juwan questionable. Now, as far as the Saints,
and
they have
George Kittle.
Well, he's on IR.
Who's on IR? Yeah.
So-
But I'm just saying. But that minus George Kittle is a big minus. By
Right,
the way.
right.
Like I don't think we should leave that out.
I'm just saying players that we knew weren't going to play. Like they're gone. I'm not saying Ayuk either. Like these guys are out. As far as the Saints, but I get what you mean. This is the first time they have to overcome not having him going into a game. How's the game plan going to look like? But it's okay because we got George Kittle light and Jake Tonjes. But here's the injury report for the Saints. It's tiny. I hate StreamYard. Let me see if I can zoom in. Open a new tab. Bear with me here, guys. I want to make sure you guys can actually see it. Okay, here we go.
While Zach is getting that. Oh, okay.
So you got safety Julian Blackmon. He did not practice. He is out with a shoulder injury. Tackle Tylese Fuaga, questionable with a knee injury. Did not practice Wednesday. Limited practice Thursday and Friday. And then Trevor Penning and Trace Young, the tackle and defensive end. We all know Chase Young. He was here a couple years ago. Both out with a toe and calf injury. And then you have running back Velus Jones, no designation. Zach Wood, long snapper, no designation. And safety Jordan Howden, no designation. So the last three are good to go. What do you make of this, Mike?
Is Trevor Penning a starter?
Yes.
So why is he listed as tackle/guard? Shouldn't it just be one position if he's a starter?
That's a good question.
I have not looked at the Saints depth chart at all. So I don't know for sure. However, that is a curious thing there because if they're missing an offensive lineman that's playing tackle or guard, a starting offensive lineman, that should bode well for the Niners.
I mean, according to Google AI, he's projected to be a starter for this.
No,
year.
I'm just gonna pull up the Saints depth chart
Right.
and
Playing
it'll
left
show.
guard, though he recently been on the right tackle position, so maybe that's why, because he's played both.
Oh, okay. So that's why he's got the slash as far as position listed.
He was right tackle last year, and he was moved to left guard for this year. Right tackle last year, moved to left guard this year.
So, yeah, he is listed as their starting left guard. Yeah. Okay, so I'll take that. That's definitely something that's going to be really good for us.
Right,
man.
right.
I'll take that.
On the positive, we're on the injury report. We do get two players back in Yetur Gross-Matos and three players, I should say. Jordan James, the rookie, and the fellow rookie, Jordan Watkins, are both good to go. Very, very encouraging. Jordan James broke his finger in training camp or early preseason and was out for a while. Jordan Watkins looked really good that first preseason game and then had a hamstring injury, was out a few weeks. So they are both back. By the way, I want to address this comment. Justin, damn, I love the show, but that intro is the longest and worst all of 49ers YouTube land. I get why. 8-minute thing. That only Johnny Dale intro and Rivals is how annoying it is. Hopefully, are you talking about the stream starting soon thing, or are you talking about the actual intro? Because I think the actual intro is only about 25 seconds.
No, he's talking about how we do like the it's two different scenes that you guys have, like the whole thing in the beginning is what he's talking about.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It is long. We let people join
odd.
and then we go from there.
It's odd because mine is at least a minute something long. You know what I mean? Like mine is probably closer to 2 minutes long. So it's very interesting. But it's all good, Justin. We are glad that you're here. And you aren't here for the intro. You're here for the meat and potatoes, and we're about to serve it up. And I need you, Zach, to tell me how free you want me to speak on this episode, because as we're breaking stuff down,
No, please. It's Friday night. It's just you and I. Go off.
Friday night and the weekend's here. Oh, let's go. All right. Here we go. It's going to be a fun show then, guys. So don't worry, Justin. We'll make up for the intro, I promise.
So, of the returning players making their NFL debut, and the rookies, who, if any, Mike, do you think will make the biggest contributions on Sunday?
It's funny because I don't think Jordan James is going to be active. So that's interesting all by itself. I think our depth chart is going to be Christian McCaffrey, Brian Robinson, Isaac Garindo. And if not, then that's saying something about Garindo.
True.
More than Jordan James. And so we'll have to see how it goes. I think maybe Watkins might be able to do some things out there especially with the safety being out, their starting safety being out, he might be a guy. And, with Mac Jones, while he is very statue-like in the pocket, he has got an incredible deep ball. And, Jordan Watkins is the receiver to go out there and take advantage of that. So I'm looking forward to it. So if I have to pick of some of the new guys out there, it's going to be Jordan Watkins.
Yeah, and I want to remind you guys last year when Mac Jones took over for Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. Gosh, I'm trying to get this damn glare out of my glasses. It looks like they're all fogged up. I don't even know which side it's coming from. Anyway, when he took over for Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas took off. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr., if you want to look at that split, matter of fact, let's do it right now. Let me pull it up. But he absolutely took off with Mac Jones. We don't really do betting odds on this show anymore since we're no longer partnered with MyBookie. But if you are betting, spam that over for Ricky Pearsall, in my opinion, because he is going to absolutely go off. ESPN only has his 2025, 2024. How comfortable are you with Mac?
I liked what he was showing in preseason, if I'm being honest with you guys. Now, he's only been here for a couple of months, but I feel like that, he's the backup for a reason. And the Niners, not going out and, getting other quarterbacks and all that stuff. We have, what's the other gentleman's name?
Aiden Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez as the backup now officially, and not a third quarterback coming in. That speaks to not just how comfortable I am, but how comfortable the 49ers are, in Mac Jones. So I think that's going to bode well. I think that they have full confidence in him, if I'm being completely honest with you. And I have no reason to not have it either. This guy was a first-round pick for a reason. And, this is going to be a moment for someone on the coaching staff, right? There was rumors prior to us trading up to number 3 that Mac Jones was the guy all along. And then somehow, they ended up going with Trey Lance instead, but they ended up getting their guy. I'm saying their guy. Someone out there wanted Mac Jones, and now he's here. So someone's going to get to say either I told you so, or other people are going to say, see, this is why we didn't go out there and get him. So this is going to be an I told you so moment for someone in the building. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be great. I think that he's going to do what we need him to do. It's going to be a tough game, but it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in him. I think when we signed Mac Jones, it kind of reminded me of when we signed Sam Darnold, where I'm like, oh, okay, like there's not 32 starting caliber quarterbacks, right, in the NFL, at least high end, but I think he's one of, he could start for a number of teams in the league. I was comfortable with it. I was hoping it wouldn't be this soon, obviously. 1 week into the season, and we already have to go to our backup. But anyway, this is the stats of Brian Thomas Jr. last year. Let's see if you guys can get an idea roughly of when Mac took over. 47 yards week 1. He did have some good games. I'm not saying he didn't, but 47, 94 week 2, 48 week 3, 86 week 4, 122 week 5, 27 week 6, 89 week 7, 60 week 8, 22 week 9, 12 week 10, 82 week 11, 76 week 13. Week 12 was a bye week. Let's see, where am I? 76 week 13, 86 week 14, 105 week 15, 132 week 16, 91 week 17, and 103 week 18.
Now the question is, when did Mac Jones take over?
Yes, sir.
I'm asking you. When did Mac
11,
Jones take
week
over?
Week 11.
Okay. And so there you see it right there. I mean, nothing less than 80 plus yards. So that's what you're looking for, right?
Also,
76 was a little, sorry.
Right. But I mean, his average, let me add these numbers up real quick. Calculator.
Yeah, so while you're doing that, I mean, just looking at it roughly, I mean, I feel like he averaged just about 95 yards or so a game over there. I mean, that's beautiful. And if you can walk away with that, I mean, that tells you what Mac Jones brings to the passing game, you know? So I like that, man. This is going to be, oh, man, I'm so excited for this game. I get more excited for the unknown, right? Like, I'm more nervous when all the starters are healthy and we're going in there and it's like, all right, it's the game. Like, oh, crap, what are we going to do? Versus like, oh, we got a new quarterback starting. Oh, we got a new running back out there. Oh, we got a new wide receiver. Like, those are the games I get excited for because it's all of the unknown. That's the stuff that builds the anticipation for me and it makes me excited for the game. We could go out there and look like trash, but I'm still excited for the game and just to see how the players step up in the absence of the starters.
So he averaged roughly 16 yards a catch and 97 yards a game once Mac Jones took over.
Yeah, I told you around 95, so that feels about right. That was just eyeballing it, so that's pretty cool.
Now, we saw last week Ricky just, I don't want to say dominate, because he did have like the middle stretch of the game where it was kind of iffy. But early on, first 2 drives was great. And then when it mattered most, he showed up. He cooked that DB. Did you see the clip where he went and told Kyle Shanahan, we have to hit them with a double move? It'll work. You didn't see that? Oh, I got to show this for you.
Okay. See, now that's what oh my God. Now that's what I like to hear right there. Horns. Because let's be honest, the last time we heard about a wide receiver telling Kyle, hey, like, I'm ready, like, let's do this, it was Debo, and that was like in 2021
Kyle,
or some shit like that. Right, like that, you know, so I like hearing a wide receiver say, hey, listen, we can do this, and Kyle giving him the opportunity to do it. So if you could find that,
it's right
that
here.
Is absolutely incredible.
Based on film that he watched.
Sideline, we were just talking like, we need to go deep one time. We need to hit somebody on a double move. They're sitting. I mentioned that same exact thing, and I told him, like, just run, pull and go, because they're sitting on that exact head. And Shanahan dialed it up and called it, and, you know, obviously it won. But actually, I was telling him, it was like, in that look, I'd rather have ran the curl, honestly, because he was actually ended up being deeper. It looked like he was going to backpedal a little bit more than the previous curl that I had. So, but I was like, we might as well run it. They tend to come up anyway and trust their speed. So,
not only did he go to Kyle and say it, Kyle dialed it up. Like, Kyle listening to input from the players, like, this is what we're feeling in the moment. And that's what I really like about this coaching staff. It seems to be the difference between, you know, the past couple of seasons. It's like, let's just go out there and run the plays that I'm saying, and, like, let's go from there. It wasn't – I'm not going to say that he never got input from the players, but this coaching staff this year in particular – I really do think that there's going to be a lot of discussions on the sideline. This guy can't stick with me. He's going to fall for the double move. Or if I run this slant, this guy's going to do that. Like, and they're listening and they're dialing up those plays. So that's going to pay dividends for the Niners' long-term success. And that is great. And this is, oh, man. I'm so excited for this whole football season. Like, I don't want to get ahead of it, but, like, when guys like Ayuk come back and you got Pearsall out there, like, what are teams going to do? Oh, man, and then you're going to have Purdy back in the mix and all that stuff for whoever the starting quarterback is going to be at the time. It's going to be great.
Now, I mean, I hope Purdy's injury is only a 2-week injury. John Lynch was on KNBR, and he did say the MRIs came back positive. It kind of sounds to me more like a week-to-week thing than a 2 to 5 week thing. But in a few weeks, the 49ers will get back George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Demarcus Robinson, Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
That's a good offense, man.
That offense is going to be so fire, man. Like, listen, NFL, 49er fans, I'm going to say it now. This is your chance right now. This next 3 weeks, this is where the losses are going to accumulate. If they're going to accumulate, this is when that happens. Because after that, you give it a week or two for Brandon Ayuk to get back into, you know, playing shape and all that stuff, which he, by the way, every clip I see, he looks really, really good. This offense is going to be so freaking dynamic. It's going to be something like just tout. Like, this is, I'm telling you guys, I feel the vibes of that Panthers team that went 15-1. I'm telling you guys, like, that's what I really, really feel. I'm not saying the Niners are going to go 15-1. What I'm saying is that they had the weakest schedule. They took advantage of it. Ted Ginn looked like a freaking all-pro out there that year. Like, we have Ted Ginn may have been – did he get all-pro that year? I don't know if he got all-pro, but he was –
maybe as a returner.
Yeah, but he was one of the best receivers Cam Newton was using them,
True,
and
true.
you know, he got someone that can run underneath those that cannon of an arm, right? Like that's what I feel like this team is destined for this season. It's going to take a while, but once it happens, get hot at the right time.
Right.
Take that momentum into the postseason. Go
What
ahead,
do we always
sorry.
say? No. I don't mean cut you off. It's like, what do we always say? Just get into the dance. Just get into the dance. Anything can happen from there. I think it was Jordan Elliott, Splash Cousins on Twitter, you know, watching the Packers last night. And he's like, you know, the Packers are going to go 15-2 and then lose to the Niners in the divisional round at Lambeau. Like, it's the exact same thing that's going to happen every single year. But all you have to do is get into the dance, and anything can happen from there. We've seen a 10-6 team win it in the New York Giants. We've seen wild card teams go on a run. So I really do think that they will, if they can stay healthy, they will start to gel at the right moment as the season goes on. The schedule does do them some favors. Now, obviously, a team can, you know, flip their win total from last year to this year like that, but it's based on what we're seeing. The 49ers, you know, luck is still on their side when it comes to the schedule. They're not facing, you know, the Chiefs, Eagles, Bills, Vikings again, you know, this year. That's not on the tab. So I'm excited for it. They just really got to stay healthy, or get healthy, I should say.
Yeah. Once they get healthy, then it's, you know, it's all about football from that moment on. You know, and then getting back to this upcoming game that we have here, I am worried. I don't want to make it seem like it's all glitz and glitter, right? So we got a new kicker. That is something that we haven't discussed yet.
Yeah, we
and
have not.
I'm sure we're going to get to it. But we also this run game, man. The run blocking was not good last week. It wasn't good at all. Now, I don't have a good reason as to why the run blocking wasn't good. And so I wanted to ask your opinion on it, because that offensive line, for the most part, was the same offensive line that we had. For the most part. Why did it feel like we couldn't run the ball? And it's not that we weren't successful in running the ball. I think we were, right? But it's like it wasn't as good as what we wanted it to be. What was the longest run of the day? Like 14 yards or something like that? I don't think there were any big, major, like explosive gains or anything like that. But we got to find out how to strike in the run game. Once we get that going, it's going to open up things in the passing lanes. And this team, this Saints game in particular, it's going to be hard to run on. I do think it's going to be hard to run on. They run a 5-man front. And, you know, when we heard from Kubiak talking about it, he went out of his way to mention how good that defensive line is for the Saints, and they play the 5-man fronts. What are you thinking this run game is going to look like in this upcoming matchup, Zach?
You know, I'm hoping it's going to look better, right? But the Saints are still a good defense. They have, you know, Cam Jordan up front. They have the guy that Scott really wanted from UTSA. I'm forgetting the pass rusher. The edge. Wasn't he from UTSA? Anyway, they have some dogs there. And I really do think that it's going to be tough for the Saints to run on. Anybody coming up?
Marcus Davenport?
Yes. Is he still there? He's still there, right? I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that for last week, you got Leonard Williams. They went and got DeMarcus Lawrence. And then they have Ernest Jones in the middle of that defense. It's a really good defense. Like, it's a top unit coached by one of the top defensive coordinators. For some reason, defensive coaches aren't thought of as like elite coaches the same way offensive coaches are. Like, everybody wants the next McVay, Reed, Shanahan, LaFleur. And I get it, right? Because you put an offensive coach with a good quarterback, and that's a duo that you could likely win a lot of Super Bowls with. But defensive coaches need to get their flowers too. And Mike McDonald has built something pretty promising in Seattle that pains me to say. But I do think that that was a large part of what the 49ers struggled with last week. And because I want to give them their credit, but on the flip side, our offensive line looked bad. Mike, you've said it going back to June. What is with Dominic Pooney? He looked bad in the pass game, and he looked even worse in the running game. I think he graded as such as well. And I'm a big Pooney fan. I want him to do well. He was the second best lineman for the 49ers last year. he seems to have, it's one game. I'm not going to say he seems to have. In one game, he did not look that great. Trent didn't look good, and then he got hurt. So that was even worse. McKivitz is actually okay in the run game. I know a lot of us love to clown on him. There's a quote on here, by the way, about his contract I want to get your thoughts on in a bit. But Brendel is going to Brendel. We have that question about Drew Moss possibly taking over. And then Ben Barch, who also got hurt. You know, it's like...
Yeah.
And this is a new offensive line. Ben Barch, I think, is the new addition because Aaron Banks left.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time for them to get together and gain that chemistry. And going against a top unit in Seattle doesn't help. So that's my take. I don't know if you have another take on why they didn't look good and if they'll look better.
No, it's all about cohesion and chemistry, and they have to build and develop that. You know what I'm saying? And with the lack of practicing that Trent has done, they don't have that chemistry even throughout training camp and preseason. You know, so it is going to take probably 2 more weeks or so before they all start to click and mesh and gel well. And we just got to be patient. We just got to hope that we can work it out, because the run defense for these teams that we've played so far are good. And I'm talking about the Saints. I'm talking about the Seattle Seahawks. And there's a comment up there. If you take out that 57-yarder for the Cardinals, the run game wasn't that good. And so it's gonna be an issue. Yeah, Ian Sharp. Thank you. They're gonna be tough to run on. Don't make any mistakes about it. I did a show earlier today with Wayne. We do our face-off Fridays, and we pick 2 key players, the same position on each team, and we try to, who's going to have a better game. And we did Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. And those guys, if you look at the stats, Kamara is actually a better weapon and running back than Christian McCaffrey. And most Niner fans don't.
Based
stats.
over what?
They both came in 2017. Just look at the career stats.
Career.
Yeah. But here's the difference. Christian McCaffrey has played in 20 less games. So all the stats that Kamara is leading in, it's like 30, 40 yards here, 60 yards there rushing. But it's 20 less games. So if you were to put them on the same scale, then McCaffrey would edge him out. But right now he hasn't. Even with touchdowns, even with total touchdowns, Kamara is beating Christian McCaffrey as of today. You know what I'm saying? But you got to take it with context. Per game, McCaffrey is better, but overall, as far as their careers, it is Kamara right now. So, and a lot of people just think Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, like those are the guys that you can count on. But Kamara is that guy also. Now, Kamara just doesn't do anything against the Niners. That's the thing. So when we think about him, we think, oh, he's just another player out there. But overall, he's just as good as Christian McCaffrey, just as dynamic, a good pass catcher, route runner, and a dynamic runner. So they're not off from each other. If you were to swap them on these teams, we would have the same type of success. I truly and sincerely believe that. If you were to swap Christian McCaffrey for Alvin Kamara, we would have the same type of success with him.
So I agree with you somewhat, but I do think that most of that success that Kamara had, and because that's the majority of his playing career, but was due to Drew Brees. Like, ever since Brees left, I'm not quite sure that he's had similar levels of success. And I'm looking up his stats here. 2023, he had 694 yards on 194 carries. I don't have the numbers of games that he played, but I'm going by carries. Last year, he almost had 950 yards on 228 carries. Now, you have to add in the receiving component, because, Mike, you did mention he's a great receiver too. Great pass back. 2023, 48 receptions for 440 yards. Last year, 68 receptions for 543 yards. That would probably put him at like the 49ers' third receiver last year, because you had Juwan and then Kittle. But that's good. That for a running back, I mean, that's really good. And then touchdowns. Last year, 6 touchdowns and 6 rushing and 2 receiving. And weirdly enough, the same exact 6 rushing and 2 receiving in 2023. So he played 17 games 2023, only 14 last year due to a broken rib. So the stats have been there, but I would say the majority of it was early on in his career. Those first, 4 or 5 years with Drew Brees. How long has he been in the league? When were they drafted? 2017?
2017, yeah.
And Brees retired 2022, I want to say.
22 or 21, somewhere around there. I don't remember the exact.
2021. So this is going to be the fourth year or fifth year that he's had to play without him. I think the lack of a quarterback. They did have Derek Carr for a bit, who played okay. Has definitely taken him down. And plus, who else on the Saints do you have to game plan for? Chris Olave, he should be on the Niners. He's hurt so much. I mean, really, there's nobody really that worries you. You got Juwan Johnson, who's a good tight end, but without a steady quarterback, the passing game doesn't really strike fear into any defensive coordinator's heart, in my opinion. I have their PFF rankings here, Mike. I don't know if you care to hear.
Okay. I mean, it's fine. Let's do it.
So offensive, pass 11th, pass blocking 7th, receiving 23rd, rushing the ball 6th, run blocking 32nd, which is kind of a weird dynamic. How are you 6th in rushing but 32nd in run blocking? And then overall as an offense, 25th. Defense, run defense 14th, tackling 32nd, pass rush 30th, and pass coverage 6th. Overall 13th. And they were the second rated special teams unit. The Seahawks had to have been rated the first with all the special teams fuck ups the Niners had. Do you take anything away from that? I know you're not a big PFF guy. Anything that surprise you?
No real surprises or anything like that. And I don't want to diminish PFF for those who swear by it. But you got to take everything with a grain of salt. This is different. This is going to be different this year, right? Like, so now we're going up against Brandon Staley, which, by the way, is going to be a major factor here, right? Brandon Staley was here, right? Who does this benefit? Like, is it Kyle knows how Brandon Staley thinks, or is it Brandon Staley knows how Kyle thinks and his defense is going to be ready, right? Like, so that's really what we have to really try to dissect right there. And I'm going to ask you, like, who do you think that benefits? If you were here all of last year with Kyle Shanahan as assistant head coach / assistant on defensive side of the ball, right? Does he take that knowledge with him and it's against the Niners, or did we get a chance to see what he's all about and now we know how to capitalize on it? Like, how do you think that bodes for the 49ers?
I think I think it bodes in the 49ers' favor a little bit more than it would be for the Saints' favor, because just as a principle, the offense, I feel like, already starts out with an advantage. It's much harder to stop somebody from doing something that you don't know what they're going to do than it does to have to do something against someone who's trying to stop. You know what I mean? Like, by the nature of it, a receiver starts out with an advantage over a defender. The defender has to figure out where the receiver is going to go, what type of route, yada, yada, yada. Plus, I think Kyle Shanahan obviously knows what he's expecting. Now, the same can be said for Brandon Staley. He knows that Kyle Shanahan knows what he's going to do, so he can try and maybe run looks that he's expecting to see and run multiple packages out of that. That's possible. But I just think that favors the offense in that case. Kyle Shanahan is just known for running so many different plays out of the same look. Yeah. Like, it's almost impossible to try and coach up a team for that.
And I agree with you. And if you need evidence of it, you go back and look at when we played the Jets, right? It was like 32-19 or something like that. And that was Robert Saleh, who had spent all of his defensive coordinator years here with Kyle Shanahan and practicing against it. And we went out there and just ran them up and down the field. So I do agree with you. But I wanted to see what your thoughts were. So, yeah, I mean, your head is in the right spot right there.
So I have this quote, obviously. Well, maybe we should talk about the kicker first, Mike, because since the last time we've talked, the 49ers have a new kicker. Jake Moody is gone, Mike.
He is freaking gone, man. And so this is the thing, right? Like, it's one thing for him to just be gone. It's also about who they replace him with. And this guy is like a really, really good kicker as far as stats go and career-wise and all that stuff. I saw this stat, and I don't know how true it is. I didn't double check it or anything like that, but they were saying that Jake Moody has more misses than this guy has in his entire career.
Correct. And he's played like twice as long.
Yes, like that's insane to me. Or good for the Niners, right? Like bad for Moody, who by the way signed to the Bears practice squad, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
So like let's go see what Moody ends up doing in his NFL career. But this is going to be interesting, and I'm hoping that oh God, what's his name? Pinheiro, yeah. I really hope that he comes in here and plays well, because if he misses his first kick, Niner fans are going to blow this thing out of proportion. Like there's so many different things that are going to happen in this game, right? Like, are we going to have a quarterback controversy if Mac Jones does well? Or if Pinheiro, if he comes out here and he's trash in this first game, right? We're not going to give him the first game benefit. We're going to say maybe we were better off with Jake Moody, right? Like, so during Thursday's game, both kickers missed. The Packers and the Commanders kickers were missing kick attempts, right? And everyone's like, oh, got to go get a new kicker for them. This guy's got to go get a new kicker, right? Like, we were having fun with that on social media. It's not going to be much different here, right? Like, if this guy comes in here and he goes 3 or 4, but that first one is a miss, 49er fans are going to be like, oh my God, like, we're in kicker hell. Like, we just kickers can't kick on this team.
Right.
So how do you think it's going to play out for him?
I don't want to jinx the guy, but he looks confident, and I really like that. And the stat that you were talking about was I saw from Matt Barrows. He has 126 field goal attempts with fewer misses than Jake Moody has on 62. So over twice as many by Eddie Pinheiro and less misses, which is just wild to say. He was a 2020. Oh no, sorry. Moody was a 2023 third round pick. But he was with the 49ers special teams coordinator Brant Boyer when they were with the Jets in 2021. He was 89% on field goal attempts in the last 3 years with the Panthers. He's the third most accurate field goal kicker. So I'm pretty excited. I'm looking up these stats here. I'll pull this up. Go ahead.
While you're looking them up, it makes me wonder if this was like the ace in Boyer's back pocket all along, right? Like, why wasn't he the one that was brought in for the competition? Like, was he somewhere else? Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, was he somewhere else? Because I would have thought if they're going to move on from Moody, then they're going to go get the guy. What was
Greg Joseph.
Joseph, right. I was thinking like that was going to be the guy, but clearly it wasn't. I'm wondering if Pinheiro, am I saying his last name right?
Pinheiro, yeah.
Pinheiro. I'm wondering if he does kickoffs better than Greg Joseph, because that was from what I've heard, was the edge between Moody and Joseph. So I'm wondering if this guy does kickoffs better than what Greg Joseph was doing, and that's why they decided to go with him. I mean, look at those numbers, man. 100% for the short kicks. It's the long ones that are hard on everybody, right? 50+, but that's still 67%. I mean, not for nothing. In the last, 11 games or something like that, Moody wasn't a 67% kicker overall. No. This guy is 67% from 50+. So, I mean, that's what you want to see. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So for Eddie Pinheiro kickoff stats, he's kicked off 52 times in his career with a 60.4 average. Oh, no, sorry. That was just for 2019, apparently. 2022, he had 83 kickoffs, 62-yard average. 2023, 56 kickoffs for a 62.3-yard average. 72 kickoffs last year with a 61.9-yard average. So, I mean, I don't know what Jake Moody averages, but he had a 60% touchback percentage in 2023 and a 72% touchback percentage last year. So,
so he only boots him out the back. See, like in the Niners, I do know we're asking Jake Moody to not boot everything out the end zone, right? Like those kicks that land like right at the goal line, that forces teams to bring it out. That's what the teams are hoping for because they don't want to give them the ball at 35.
Right.
So this is going to be. It might be a change in what the special teams are doing here.
Last year, out of 72 kickoffs, only 32 were touchbacks for Eddie Pinheiro, 44%. Whereas Jake Moody last year, 72% of his kickoffs were touchbacks. So,
all right,
and he allowed an average of, I think that's for punts. No, that can't be punts. 12.6 yards per return last year was what was allowed on his kickoffs. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Not bad. That's phenomenal. If you're kicking inside the 10, they're only starting at the 22.
That's the highest of his career. The year prior was 7.8. The year prior was 9.5. So
oh wow,
12.6.
This is a clear upgrade.
Yeah, and I love the guy. Like I said, I love the guy's mindset. Let me see if I can show you the video that I saw. I'm sure you guys have seen it. Scroll with me here. I swear I retweeted it.
Scrolling down the timeline. All right.
Okay.
Almost there.
Maybe I didn't retweet it.
Did you just pass it? I think you just passed it.
No.
Oh, I did. That was Eddie right there, wasn't it?
That's
go
Kendrick
down.
Bourne.
No, keep going down. In the Panthers uniform.
No, I'm looking for a video of him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, my bad.
There's a video of him talking about, his mindset. This might be it.
I was supposed to. It's been a crazy week. I was supposed to leave to Atlanta yesterday, until I got the call to come over here and took the opportunity and didn't look back. So super happy.
So you had a choice between here and Atlanta. What kind of went into choosing here over?
Yeah, I mean, I want to win games. I want to be a part of a good culture, and I'm in my 8th year of my career, and I want to win. So.
That's not the clip I was thinking of, but that's a good good insight.
He throws shots at Atlanta. What went into it? I want to win games. I don't want to go to Atlanta. I want to win games. Like, what the hell are you talking about? That's what went into it. I want to win games, right? He knows that the Niners have the weakest strength of schedule in the entire NFL, right? I want to win games. That's it. That's all you need to hear. Like, this guy made a business decision here. He wants to go to a team that he thinks is going to be in the postseason. He wants to go out there and have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. Like that.
Yep.
That's what it's all about for him.
So this is the clip I think I was looking to play.
Yeah, it's good. It's positive, and at the end of the day, you just got to make kicks. And I know if I don't make kicks, I'll be out of here. So gotta make kicks.
Simple as that. Simple as that. Everything's positive. I just got to make my kicks. And if I don't make my kicks, I know I'll be out of here. There's no drama. I tweeted, Mike, do you remember Jake Moody after, and this is going to be a Bash Moody, segment, but do you remember 2023 in Cleveland, Purdy drives the team down the field, 17-19, down 2 points, hits Ayuk on that play. They get into field goal range. And Moody misses the 42-yarder or whatever it was. Do you remember his attitude afterwards?
His attitude? No, I do not.
Or his body language? Do you remember anything about him being interviewed after?
he looked defeated. He absolutely looked defeated. Yeah,
he looked broken. I don't know if he ever recovered from that. I mean, he was sitting there. I want to make the kick. I didn't make the kick, and try to make the kick, and
yeah,
dude. Could you imagine
Head
Robbie
down.
Gould doing that?
Right. No, hold your chin up. Listen, man, there's no kickers that are 100%. I missed one. And I will say this, though. As much shit as we gave Jake Moody, that was the only game he cost the Niners. If you go back and you find his worst game was against Tampa Bay. And we won that game by 2 or 3 scores.
There are games that the 49ers could have won, but maybe he didn't miss a game winner. But he missed a kick earlier in the game.
That's not true.
Well, how much did they lose to the Lions by last year? Off the top of my head.
Oh, that's what it was. That was it. You're right. It was the Browns and the Lions. Those were the 2 games. Those are the 2 games that he cost the Niners. Every other game that he was just off on or his bad games, we won. So it wasn't like he cost us. That's what I was trying to say. You're absolutely
That's
right.
fair.
It was too.
No, that's fair. I
was
agree
too.
with that. And a lot of people blame him for the Super Bowl. I think that's dumb. He didn't allow Leo Chenal to go and block the extra point. You know, like he made a Super Bowl record. The Super Bowl was not a bad game for Jake Moody.
At all. Right. Like he set a Super Bowl record until the Chiefs followed it up with 2 yards more right after, right? It was literally a Super Bowl record. And I'm not shooting him bail because I know a lot of people think that I'm like a Jake Moody fan for some reason, right? I just want us to be realistic, right? Like we're not the Chiefs. The Chiefs did some crazy shit, like won 11 games that were like decided by 4 points or less or something like that, or 3 points or less. Like we're not that team. When the Niners win games, we win convincingly. It's the close games that, that's not our thing. Like we're either on or we're not with the 49ers. That's how Kyle Shanahan gets down. He's either in his bag or he's not, right? The Niners have this innate ability to go out there and just flat out dominate games. And that's what the expectations are. That's why we're so hard on people as 49er fans, right? They say that most NFL games are decided by one score or less, right? The Niners don't have that mentality when Kyle Shanahan is at the helm. Right? Like that's just not the way we're wired. You think back to that Panthers game that we got Emmanuel Sanders in, right? Like it was like 52 to something in the teens, maybe.
Right, 52
right?
to 10 or something like that.
Yeah, like we go out and we sincerely dominate teams. We don't do the close nail biter thing. That's not Kyle Shanahan's bag. The close games are the ones that we end up losing. And that's just like, we just had an off game on the offensive side of the ball. It's not about the kicker in those moments, Like I said, Jake Moody had that one game where he missed, I think, 4 kicks in total. I think it was like 3 field goals and an extra point he missed in that Tampa Bay game. And we still won that game by 2 scores, right? We're either on offensively or we're not. And if I said at the beginning of the season, if the Niners are depending on a kicker, we have way more problems than just the kicker. Yeah. If we're going in the game and saying, hey, we need you to win this game for us, we're in a lot more trouble than what people think. And I liked hearing Kyle Shanahan. He talked about it last week, or maybe it was earlier this week, with what's the hesitation with moving on. This was before we had actually made the move. What's the hesitation with moving on from a kicker? And he said that he went through that in Washington, right? And it was did you hear that presser?
I didn't. No, I didn't. Was that today?
No. It
probably
wasn't today.
When they released him.
It was either right after we released him or right before we released him. But he was like, I've been in the situation before where we have a guy who was struggling, and I was told by the front office guys, like, I don't want to let this guy go, and he goes on to be a Hall of Famer on another team, right? And then they ended up letting him go, and then he went on to set like records and have a career year the following season. But Kyle felt justified and like, hey, we had to let him go, and then we did fine afterwards. So it was. I'm butchering what he said.
I found the quote here. Do you want me to play it?
Oh yeah, there you go. Yep, let's do it.
I think this is it at least. KNBR. Oh, come on.
When you led to the decision to let Jake go?
I think by where it got to, there wasn't that much of a decision. It's always tough with that, especially when you have a talented guy. I have some experience with that in my past. Remember when I was in Washington, I didn't have that experience, and our kicker lost us a game. And remember how adamant I was when I went into the head coach's office and said, you need to make a change. Like, what are we doing? He snapped at me and said, you don't know kickers. This guy's really talented. We got to give him some time. I'm not going to watch him go be a Pro Bowler for someone else. Then 2 weeks later, he missed a kick and lost us the game. So I felt like validated. I was like, told you, which I was right for like a day. Because then the next year he went on to be a Pro Bowler and the highest paid kicker in the league for the next 3 years for another team. So there's things that you kind of think about. It's tough with a kicker. I think Jake's got a chance to have a hell of a future. He is that talented. But when it gets to that spot where it is, we all know how last year ended. We know how everyone was looking at him. And obviously when it gets to that point, you can see it affecting him from a mental game. Then you don't have much choice. You got to move on, and hopefully Eddie will come in here and do the job.
Huh.
Which, by the way, I applaud Kyle for learning from his past. I'm going to play a short little applause, right? All right, that's enough. But learning from his past, right? Like the hesitancy to move on is because of that, right? He said he felt justified for just a game or two. And then that guy goes on to become the highest paid kicker and very successful and a Pro Bowler.
Do you know what kicker he's talking about? I'm just curious if you know. Oh, Graham Gano.
There you go.
Wow. So I've said something similar, and I'm not some genius here, but I always said, like, clearly Moody has talent, right? Clearly he's a talented kicker physically. And we've seen it in practice. We've seen it in pre-games. We've seen it, halftime. The dude can drill like 60 yarders, no problem. But it's all mental. And when it comes down to it, all of that pressure on you, what did Jim Harbaugh used to say? Death, taxes, and Jake Moody. Well, that all changed when he left Michigan for some reason, because he came here and I think he started 11 for 12 on his kicks. And then maybe something with that ankle sprain when he made that tackle versus the Cardinals, 2 years ago? Maybe that, because ever since then he started missing kicks. I don't know. But whatever it was, it broke him mentally, physically, spiritually. But if another coach can get that, put it together, and hey, sometimes all it needs is a change of scenery. Honestly, these kickers are so finicky. We've seen kickers go from team to team, and they were ass in one team, and they go to another team, and suddenly they're like, holy shit, this guy's the best kicker in the league. I feel like that's the majority of the kickers the 49ers have had over the last couple of years, at least the ones that stuck. Think of Phil Dawson, think of Robbie Gould, think of David Akers, although he kind of turned into ass.
Joe Nedney.
So
So here's the thing, right? It's so funny. Like, wow, what a full circle moment we're about to have right now. We started the show with talking about bowling and golf and how it's like it's just you versus the field. A lot of that is how kicking is. If the snap and the hold is right and you get the protection, it's just you, right? Unless it's blocked and no one holds that. Well, they shouldn't, because they did in the last game, but no one should hold that against the kicker if it's blocked, right? That means that the protection didn't hold up. And that's exactly what it is. These guys have to, like, get out of their head, and it's just you versus the field. That ball is there, you're kicking, and those uprights aren't moving. Now, there might be wind and all that, but that's your job to factor that into the angle that you're going to kick that ball on. And too many times we saw Jake Moody miss left, and then he overcompensates by going right too much and just barely eking it inside the right upright. You know what I'm saying? And so we saw that a lot. And you're right, Zach. Sometimes a change of scenery is just what is needed, because it's just a reset. It's a mental reset, right? You're thinking, I've let the Niners down. I've let the Niners down. I've let the Niners down. And you're still a Niner player. When you go to another team,
choked out by my teammates.
Right. You go to another team, I got a fresh start. It's not the next season, because you're still a Niner and you still let the Niners down. While we would like to think, oh, well, the person that choked out the other guy isn't here anymore. No, it's not that. You still let the Niners down. The Niner fans are still hard on you, right? They're going to boo you as soon as you miss, right? People were booing him for a made field goal.
Right.
Think about that. Like, it barely got inside, and they were still upset about it. Like, oh, I can't believe he made that, but the way he made it, he barely made it. I'm like, shut the fuck up. He made it, right? But you can't tell that to Niner fans. That guy was going to be no good if he finished his career here. You know what I'm saying? He was going to be no good. Now, I will say this. There was another kicker, other than Jake Moody, who had a really, really good, very high, Brio. What was his last name? Brio was the last. What was his name? He went to Tampa Bay.
Roberto Aguayo.
Roberto Aguayo. Very good. Good job.
Third round pick as well.
Perfect kicker in college. Never missed a kick. Him and Jake Moody, they were up there, right? And so what happened with him? I don't think people remember, but he was terrible in the NFL. Phenomenal in college, terrible in the NFL. It's different. It's just different. It's bigger, brighter lights. You know, the stage is massive here, right? And so there's only 32 games going. I mean, only 32 teams playing. How many teams are playing in college? It's easy to go unwatched, right? 142,000 people watched your game. Good job. Millions are watching now when you're on the NFL stage. It doesn't matter what market you're in. There are millions of people watching that game, even in the smallest of markets. It could be Denver versus Indianapolis. It's still millions of people watching that. You know what I'm saying? And so the point is that the lights are brighter. The pressure is significantly increased for a kicker. College isn't always going to tell the story. It doesn't. The best kickers in college don't equate to the best kickers in the NFL.
Yeah. And Justin's correct. He was a second rounder. He was taken 59th overall, actually, Roberto Aguayo. Okay, enough kicker talk. We have a new kicker, Eddie Pinheiro. We're all rooting for him. Eddie P. Shout out to Eddie P. Eddie P for Eddie
Is
P.
his first name really Eddie?
Maybe it's Edward, but yeah.
That is such a weird. I'm not saying it's not possible for it to be his first name. That is a weird first name.
You don't know any Eddies?
I know people that we call Eddie, right?
Well,
like
I'm sure it's not his. I'm sure it's not his birth certificate. It's probably Edward or Eduardo or
Eduardo.
Edwina.
Yeah, like the people that I call Eddie. That there's two of them in my family. Well, my stepmom's family. Their names are Eduardo, and we call them Eddie. But like it's spelled Eddy, which makes me think it's his actual name. I don't know. I'll you know what? Fuck it. I'll Google it. Let's just see. Now I have to see.
Well, while you Google that, I'm gonna talk about a extension the 49ers recently gave up. Dinero Pinheiro. That's a great nickname, Howdy. I love that.
Dude, that's really his name.
EDDY. It's not short for anything.
No, this Junior. That's really his name. He is the first Eddie I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. Wow.
EDDY. Not that's the thing, right? Normally if it's a nickname, it's EDDIE.
Yeah.
I had never seen EDDY before. So there you go.
Okay. Apparently that's his name. So the 49ers dished out some money. They offered it to Juwan Jennings. He didn't want it, so they gave it to Colton McKivitz. This came out. When did this come out? Tuesday, the 8th?
Why did you say he didn't want it? What are you talking about?
Monday,
Jennings wanted the money.
No, it was literally the same contract they offered Juwan Jennings. 3 years, $48 million, $16 million per. Those are the reports that they offered Juwan, and he turned it down. And they literally gave Colton McKivitz the same deal. Like, literally gave him the same deal. Maybe the specifics are different, obviously. But the total amount and the average amount, they just erased the name and put Colton McKivitz on that contract and put it in front of him.
They issued a post-dated check and just erased the name and put another one on there.
Right. Yeah. So Juwan said no thank you. Colton said I'll take it. So this drops Monday morning. Monday, 6 a.m. Pacific time. 49ers and starting right tackle Colton McKivitz have reached an agreement on a 3-year, $45 million extension, $27 million guaranteed per Doug Hendrickson and CJ LeBoy. McKivitz was in the last year of his deal. He is now contractually tied to San Francisco through the 2028 season. And then, so that drops. And then yesterday, Colton McKivitz is asked by Nick Wagner about the APY, and it's lower for a starting right tackle. He said it's a risk reward. It's take it now or you can wait, play it out. For me, it was never about the average per year. It was all about the guarantees. And for me, it put me, I think, 13th in right tackles. And then obviously the guarantees were huge for me. So as long as they were going to move on that, then I was happy to stay. And that's what I wanted. It was never a pride thing for me on APY. It is what it is. I know a lot has been referenced that Jalen Moore makes 15 and he's a backup. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, if they're going to guarantee my family's financial security and I love playing here, it was pretty easy for me. Now, we give McKivitz a lot of shit. This made me respect him a bit, honestly. Like, I liked this mindset. And I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure the people that give him shit it's not like they're saying he's a bad person. But this was a good take on his contract situation. In the midst of players holding out for more money and making it an issue and dragging it out, McKivitz is not elite, but you could do a lot worse. That's all I'll say. Mike, what's your take on this?
Is he the same guy that was like, I'm going to be a Pro Bowler this year?
Yes, sir.
And I was hyping him up?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Maybe
keep that in mind when you answer.
Yeah. I have been on this guy's bandwagon since he made that comment, and I'm going to stick with him right now. I will say this, though. He said 13th, but have you looked at the list of all tackles? Now, he was very specific when he said right tackles.
No. Well, left tackles obviously are going to get more, right?
Yeah, but this dude is like 50th. Like, he's so far down on the tackle list, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. Now, this post, I'm going to give you guys a little peek behind the curtain. Tony of Nothing But Niners hasn't said a word to me since we had a little disagreement about this contract.
Oh no.
So he left the group chat. He's been added back since, and he hasn't even posted in the group chat. He hasn't said like anything, right? And so I saw this contract, and I said, this is a great contract by the Niners. I liked it. It gives us some security, and it tells me that this guy can come out here and play swing for us if we need him to. It doesn't stop us from drafting another tackle in the first round. It doesn't stop us from making a trade for another tackle, and it doesn't stop us from, picking up a free agent if one becomes available that we think is an upgrade. That was my take on it, because I thought that this amount of money, he could be a swing tackle, right? And so says Colton McKivitz himself, right? Like, he could be a backup, right? Like, I know that people are going to say that Jalen makes more, right? Like, he's aware of it as well. His words, not mine now. By the way, this is my first time seeing this quote. So it's not like I knew this when I said this. I said this as soon as the announcement came out. And Tony, got really upset, like, this isn't backup money, it's starter money, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, technically you're correct at the right tackle position, but I'm looking at tackles overall. This doesn't say that we can't get somebody else and have him on the bench. This deal tells me that we have a certified guy that can play left and right, because we've seen him play left tackle. We've seen him play right tackle. This guy can be used now however the Niners want to, and it doesn't stop them, right? Like, you look at Trent Williams' contract, and people are going to be like, yeah, the Niners aren't going out to get another left tackle to replace Trent next year, right? Going into the season, right? Like, no one was going to say that. Even if we did draft a left tackle, they would have been like, oh, they're going to let Trent play for another year or two while this guy learns. That's what it would have been, based off of just the money. The money tells me that this guy is on the roster, and he's a safety blanket. And like he said, this is security. I'd love the deal for the Niners, and I love the deal for McKivitz. And I love the deal for him, right? You got that $27 million guaranteed, right? You could be Mike McGlinchey and go out there, who got a very similar deal, and that was Tony's point. McGlinchey got the same thing. You're saying he's not a starter? Like, no, we were over McGlinchey. Like, we were happy to let him go.
Wait, how much did McGlinchey get?
Roughly the same, per year. It's around the same thing.
But he got 5-year deal, didn't he, or something like that? 4 or 5 years. I thought he got closer to $100 million total.
Here, Mike McGlinchey got. Give me 2 more seconds. Here it is, right here. He got 5 years. Wow. Yeah, you're absolutely right. His deal was 5 years, $87.5 million guaranteed. Signing bonus of $35 million, right? Like, so this is what I'm saying, right? He got at signing $35 million. So it's not the same, and his average is 17.5. You can't tell me that this deal doesn't tell me that this guy is a swing or a backup, or he could be a starter,
yes,
but he could be moved, is kind of my point.
Mike, did you notice, now maybe at first, but have you noticed that much of a drop-off from Mike McGlinchey to Colton McKivitz at right tackle?
No.
Me either.
No, I haven't.
Me either.
And you guys know that I went hard for Mike.
You did. You said the 49ers made a mistake and letting him walk. You would have given him that contract, if I remember correctly, or at least something similar. Colton McKivitz, like I said, he's not elite, but you could do a lot worse in the NFL. He's not the worst 49ers offensive lineman. That is Drew Moss. Excuse me. That is Jake Brendel. Because I wanted to ask you about this question earlier. Drew Moss is taking strays here. DJ, I promise you we were going to get back to it. We're talking about the offensive line. Jake Brendel is the watcher. He sits around, watches his players, his teammates to get tackled, beat up, hit, sacked, tackled for a loss. He just sits there with his hands on his hips, does nothing. Should he be replaced by Drew Moss, who is also, if I remember correctly, dating Brock Lesnar's daughter?
I'm not going to say that anybody should be replaced by anyone until I see the other guy with the starters and in the game situation, not preseason. And so I can't do it yet. I personally haven't seen it.
How about, let me rephrase this. Should they invest in him like they invested in Nick Zakelj for the past 2.5, 3 years? They finally cut bait. You think he may have some potential?
They should invest in anyone other than Jake Brendel. Yes, I do feel that way. Not other than, right? Because again, if the offensive line that we're running out there is worst case scenario, right? Old man Trent, average player in McKivitz, average player in Brindle, right? Dominic Pooney, who's having a down year so far, right? If this is the worst case scenario, the Niners are in a good place. 4/5 of this offensive line was in a Super Bowl together, right? If that's the worst case scenario, we're in a good place. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't look to improve. And so if Drew Moss could be that guy, we absolutely should try to see what he could do at some point. At some point. If Jake Brindle breaks a fingernail in a game, I say plug in Drew Moss just to see what he can do. You know what I'm saying? Go to the sideline, get that fingernail checked out. Right. You know what I'm saying? Let's give Drew Moss a couple of snaps with the starters. Let's see what happens, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And the Niners have to stop being afraid of plugging somebody else in, right? Dominic Pooney was kind of forced in. We had 2 guards go down in training camp. Not 1, but 2. It might not even been training. I think it was OTAs. It was before training camp even got here. And that's how he got his opportunity. You can't convince me that if it weren't for those injuries, those guys wouldn't have been ahead of him on the depth chart. There's no world in which I'm going to believe that because I've seen how the Niners treat their offensive linemen. They want to go with the sure thing. They want to go with the safe thing. They want to go with that worst-case scenario. This is what we're dealing with, and we can build around that. But they can't do that with the center for much longer. They have to try it out. So I don't care if this guy is gassy. If Brindle gets a gas pocket in his chest, hey, go sit down. You might be having a heart attack. Let's just see what Moss can do real quick. That's what I want to see.
I agree with you, mainly due to the fact that they've just refused to address the offensive line. They know Trent Williams is aging. He's struggling to get through a season. You know, like, is this going to be his last year? Who knows? They should really draft a left tackle to try and develop. They haven't. They drafted Connor Colby in the 7th round as almost like a insult to fans for wanting offensive linemen drafted. Who has looked okay. He came in for a couple of plays when Dominic Pooney got shaken up. I think it was Pooney, right? That got shaken up Sunday versus Seattle. Okay. So they need to invest in anyone at this point. So I'm all for it. I'm all for Drew Moss. I'm all for Connor Colby. I'm all for players that haven't even been drafted yet. They need to address it. Unless they plan on trading for an established vet, which I highly doubt, we need to see it. The other part of this question, Mike, back to this game, how many of the rookie defensive linemen do you think play Sunday against the Saints? We got Alfred Collins, who got manhandled a good amount Sunday versus Seattle, was getting thrown all over the place, which is kind of what we had seen through preseason. And CJ West, do you think they get much playing time Sunday?
I do think the snap counts are going to go up, especially because that starting guard is not in the lineup. You want to take those guys and give them some opportunities against backups for sure, right? Like, so we got excited when we saw some of these guys in preseason against backups and third stringers and guys who are no longer on any active 53-man roster, right? We got excited when we saw them. You absolutely give them some reps, give them a couple of snaps. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if it's, 4 or 5 more snaps, right? To go from 8 to 12 or 7 to 11, right? That's not a big deal. But give them that opportunity. These guys aren't going to get better without real game reps and real snaps.
Yes.
You can practice all you want, but they talk about the value of the joint practices, 2 of which we had in this offseason, right? Against the Raiders and the Broncos. Broncos? Yeah, it was the Raiders and Broncos, right? They talk about the value of it, right? We get tired of beating up on each other. We want to see what they can do against a new person, a new scheme. That's what this opportunity is here for. And there's going to be a point in time where they make substitutions on the offense. All right, hey, let's just see what you can do. On a 3rd and 12, just bring him in. Let's just see what he could do. You know what I'm saying? On a 3rd and 9, let's just see. A 3rd and 5, even that, you should be willing to go ahead and just see what these guys can do. You got to get them the experience, They talk about the big body. Alfred Collins, probably the biggest body that we have right there at the tackle position, defensive tackle position, right? Those long arms, the big hands and all that, right? Throw him in there to see what he could do. He might not be a dominant pass rusher in that setting, But what if he can eat up 2 blockers? You know, like that's what I want to see. So
Right.
They should get more snaps.
Just to clarify, Justin, he said week 1 transfer rate struggling through a season. I said seasons. Like, it's been multiple seasons that he's gotten injured, and you may chalk that up to just playing in the NFL, right? But it doesn't get better with age. You know, it only, the recovery time takes longer. Maybe you're more likely to get injured. I don't know, but it seems like for the past 3 to 4 years, how long he's been here for longer than that, right? It seems like for the past
he's
3
been
years,
here for like 5 years.
Yeah, he misses 1 to 4 games a year, and it's usually an ankle sprain. It could be something like that, but I'm just saying, like, it's a reoccurring theme for the 49ers to not address his backup is frustrating.
Trent Williams has not played a complete season since 2013.
Damn.
You can take it for what it's worth. 10 games last year, 15 the year before, 14 before that, 15 before that, 14 before that. That's all San Francisco. He's never played more than 15 games for the Niners. And 3 of those years were 17-game seasons. So you take it for what it's worth, right? Trent Williams is not expected to finish the season. Sorry, not sorry. He's just not.
Also, I hate to say it, but we've said the same thing about Kittle. It seems like on average he misses 1 to 3 games a year. And it's not like an age thing. Maybe it's just how physical he plays. Sunday, it was just a kind of a freak, you know, pulled his hamstring type thing, and now he's out at least 4 weeks. So it's unfortunate. Excuse me. That's the kind of the nature of the game. But
now, even with George Kittle, 15 games last year, 16 games. So now I know they didn't play a lot of the guys in the last game of the year. That might be the one game that he missed in 2023, though. But that was right. So he missed 2 games last year. The year before that, he missed only 1. He missed 2 before that. He missed in 2021. It was still 16 games, right?
yes.
So he missed 2 games that year, and then 8 games he played in the year before that, right? So he missed 8 games that year. Like, George Kittle has had 1 full season under his belt as a 49er player, and that was in 2018. But guys, that's not unusual. I got to be honest with you guys.
Right.
That's not unusual. Most football players don't play the full season. Some guys have to miss a game every once in a while. Sickness, the birth of children. There's so many different reasons why guys miss games, so we shouldn't hold 1 or 2 games against them. And the same thing goes for Trent, right? Like, people go through things. We heard recently about Trent losing a child or a miscarriage or something like that, right? Like a pregnancy that didn't work out or something like that. Didn't that happen recently with Trent Williams also? I'm pretty sure something like that happened with Trent.
Kids? Pregnancy?
Yeah, I thought something like that happened with Trent. Am I wrong?
I don't. I want to say maybe
It was Charvarius Ward, and I'm pretty sure we found out later on that the same thing happened with Trent.
Right. Sorry, I thought you were saying, did he have a... Yes, you're correct.
But there were, so, and I'm not saying that he missed games because of it, but things like that happen in these guys' personal lives, and the team will say, hey, you know what, just go home, be with your family, spend the time with your family. You know what I'm saying? And so there's multiple deaths in the family. Some players lose their parents throughout the season. They have to miss games, right? Like, things like that happen. So we can't just chalk it all up to this. Oh, they're old, they're trash, they're washed, they're injury prone and all that stuff. There's multiple reasons as to why people miss games. But the thing is, with the offensive line, we got to have backup plans.
That was my main point, is that they know this when they haven't addressed the backups.
And that's the point right there. They haven't addressed it. We got to do better.
No worries, Justin. All good. I just want to clarify in case I didn't speak clearly enough also. Okay, last question for you, then we'll get into our predictions for this week. Do you think Kendrick Bourne contributes at all Sunday? Or is it too soon?
What a good question. Oh, you got me. Under normal circumstances, and by normal I mean Brock Purdy is still in, I would say it's too soon. But he might have better rapport with Mac Jones than anybody else on his team right now.
He knows Mac Jones.
That's kind of like, now I'm like, okay, so he knows the offense and he knows Mac Jones. He might be wide receiver 3 in this game. So I'm going to say yes, he will contribute in this game? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think so too. They play together with New England in New England. They have some rapport. I think that maybe it won't pick up right where we left off, but you already have that there. So I'm excited. Right. I think he's going to get a few targets his way, especially with Juwan not being 100%. Kyle said it. I said it. Everybody said it. Kendrick Bourne was third and Juwan before third and Juwan existed. He was the original third and Juwan.
Bro, I did a show a couple nights ago. I don't remember what day it was. And I said the same thing. And I got 2 comments that said, you cannot compare Juwan Jennings to Kendrick Bourne. Like, wait, what? Like, Kendrick Bourne was Juwan Jennings before Juwan Jennings was Juwan Jennings. Like, yes, you can. I'm talking about the energy, the dancing, the love for blocking, the third down conversions. Like, that's literally what he did. And I don't understand how people forgot that already. I don't get how people have forgotten that that's exactly what he did. He was the possession receiver. Every wide receiver 3 for the 49ers, even before him, it was Quentin Patton. They're all the same guy. They're all the same guy. You're not number 1, number 2, or 3 on the offense. Like, so when we throw the ball to you on 3rd and 4, we expect you to get the 5 yards.
We expect
that's what their job and their role is.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, you're going up against a person on the team that no one's ever heard of, like on the opposing team's defense. So, yeah, you're supposed to go out there and do it. They absolutely can be compared. 100%.
Yeah. I agree. I'm excited to see what he can bring to the offense. He knows the offense. He's had success in the offense. He knows the quarterback. He's played with the quarterback, had some success with the quarterback before. So let's see what happens. I'm excited to get Jordan Watkins back. Maybe he doesn't see the field too much, but maybe he does because of the injuries. You never know.
Four snaps.
I mean, I would not be surprised. Would not be surprised. Kyle does not like to play rookie receivers. So we'll see. It's going to be as buttoned up of a game on offense as possible for the 49ers, as they already have a backup quarterback. I don't think Kyle Shanahan's going to try and do too many crazy things, but we'll see. With that said, was there anything about the game that I didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about before we get into our predictions?
The kicker we discussed, the run game. We haven't touched on the defense a whole lot. Are there any players on the Saints outside of Kamara that worry you, right? And I know you briefly for like a half a second touched on Rattler and how we kind of struggle against athletic quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Should we highlight that? Should we talk about that at all in this scenario? What were his stats for last game? I honestly, I don't even know how he finished that game against the Cardinals because I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch it. So
he was 27 for 46 with 214 yards.
He had 46 pass attempts in that game?
No touchdowns, no interceptions. Long of 21, passer rating of 70.4.
46 pass attempts?
Yeah.
How many times they run the ball in that game? Like what the fuck was that?
They ran the ball.
That's a lot of passing attempts for he's a rookie, right?
No, it's his second year.
He's a second-year guy. He's a rookie. Damn it! Like this is his first year starting. He didn't.
No, he didn't start. Well, he started some games at the end of the year due to injury. They had 22 carries last week and 46 pass attempts.
Oh, we are getting a completely different game plan. I'm telling you guys right now, that is not going to be their game plan going into it. No, Justin, I have not seen those stats. I haven't. No, are you kidding me? Okay. All right, here we go. The rushing attempts have to go up for them because this is going to be a game where here's the key to winning this game. Time of possession. That's going to be the key to winning this game. If you control the clock, you control the outcome of this game. And so the best way to do that, you can't throw, would you say 46 and only complete 27?
Yep.
That's a lot of incompletions. That's a lot of stopping the clock. You can't do that. You cannot do that. And so they're not going to do that this game. I'd be surprised if he threw the ball 28 times in this game. Now I don't know who's the Saints offensive coordinator.
It's a good question.
I don't know what their offensive philosophy is over there, but that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. And you can try that against a defense like what they have over there in Arizona. But Robert Saleh is going to be damn prepared. Robert Saleh went to the podium and said that right now he feels like the Saints are going to score 50. He is in hyper mode over there.
He is offensive coordinator Doug Nussmeier. He was the Eagles quarterbacks coach.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I got for him. So, whatever, Nussmeier. This guy is a fucking whatever. Like, no.
He's getting in these
Absolutely
meetings. Have we thought about pushing Rattler in the ass? That's
right.
Coming from Philly,
Yeah.
that's his only play.
Right.
Out,
So,
coach.
but I can tell you this. Even in Philly, they didn't want Jalen Hurts throwing the ball 46 times. That's not what they do. So something had to be off in that game. I would be surprised if they throw the ball more than 35 times, 32 times even, if I'm being completely honest with you. Robert Saleh says that, he's the most nervous before games, and he always just assumes that the opposing team is going to put up a ton of points. And he said right now he said he had a dream that the Seahawks are going to put up 37 on us. He says right now I feel like the Saints are going to put up 50. He's going to have these guys ready, especially because we don't have Brock Purdy. He's expecting the offense to give up the ball a lot, turnovers, not be successful, and that's more opportunities for the opposing team, and they're going to put up more points. That's what Robert Saleh is expecting. He's going to have his defense ready. And so my point with all that is you have to control the clock. Keep the opposing offense off the field as long as possible. The longer they're not on the field, the less opportunity they have to score. It's that simple. And that's the kind of game I expect to see more of closer to a 50-50, not a what do you say, 46 and 20 something. I mean, we're talking a 66% pass ratio. There's no way they're going to go into this game doing that same thing. They're not going to do that. So expect a more balanced game plan from the Saints unless the Niners can somehow jump out to a multiple score lead and force them to throw. So that's what I'm expecting from their offense. While I do like Alvin Kamara, he's not been historically successful against the 49ers. No. 3 games against the Niners, he's averaging 17 rushing yards a game. Right? So they're going to have to figure something else out. Maybe use Rattler as an extension of the run game to get some of those rushing yards. He might end up with more rushing yards in this game than Alvin Kamara. I could see him with like 38 yards rushing. You know what I mean? And Alvin Kamara with 27 yards rushing, something along those lines. What on the offense or about the Saints offense worries you, Zach? Like who are the people, the players, like the big names that are going to make you hesitate and say the Niners should focus on them?
The rushing ability for Spencer Rattler, just because even when we had Saleh, the running quarterbacks give us fits like they just always have historically. Now we got some speed demons in that defense. So D Winters, obviously Fred Warner, but you got Siegel, Upton Stout. Like we got some dudes with speed. So maybe that neutralizes that threat, and I'm hoping so, because Rattler is like a little, I don't want to say cockroach, but he's like a little snake out there running around trying to get, and he's quick. But I think the main focal point of that passing offense, it's not Chris Olave, it's Juwan Johnson. I think Juwan Johnson, the big tight end, is a threat. He will be the 49ers. In my opinion, he should be what they focus on taking away. Make Spencer Rattler beat you outside with Chris Olave, and let's see how that happens. But Juwan Johnson, to me, I mean, he's a size mismatch. He's a speed mismatch. He's a strength mismatch. Just all around. He's kind of like a Kittle for them. I think he's even bigger than Kittle, though. Maybe not as effective in the running game, definitely. But he's a great, great target, especially in the red zone. That's my number one concern for the Saints offense. What's your take?
I like it. No. That sounds really good. And I'm not going to disagree with you at all, right? Like it's probably going to be a tight end, right? So when you have a younger, inexperienced quarterback, you have your wide receiver one, and then you have your checkdowns. And the quarterback's favorite checkdown is either the running back or the tight end. So I like that. That was a very good answer. I'm not gonna touch
Thank
it
you.
no more than
Thank
that.
you.
So I like that. Very good.
There was a question here about what the Saints receivers look like last week. They had Juwan Johnson, I believe, was their leading receiver.
Leading receiver.
He had eight receptions on 11 targets for 76 yards, the long being 21 yards. Chris Olave, 7 receptions on 13 targets for 54 yards. Rashid Shaheed, 6 receptions on 9 targets for 33 yards. Brandon Cooks, 3 receptions on 4 targets for 26 yards. And Devon Vele, 1 reception on 2 targets for 13 yards. Alvin Kamara, 2 for 2 for 12 yards.
Oh, this is great. That's fantastic. Everything that you just said tells me that they're not getting the ball down the field. And that is fantastic.
The
If
longest
it's
is
short
21.
passes, right. If it's short passes, the Niners secondary, I don't care if it's Jair Brown out there. Those guys hit what's in front of them. I'm serious, right? If there's no deep threat in this game, the Niners are going to dominate this game. And what you just read to me changes my entire prediction. So now I'm excited. Now I'm ready to get in my bag. Let's go ahead and get to the predictions. Let's
right.
go ahead and start talking about it. Let's do this.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. So offensive predictions for the player of the game. I'm all rusty, man. I'm all rusty. Offensive player of the game predictions. 49ers Saints week 2. Should I go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah, I don't want to take your answer. I know who you're going to say, so I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you.
Well, who do you think I'm going to say?
Ricky Pearsall. Come on, man. You got to give it to Big Ricky. No?
McCorkle Jones. Give me Mac Jones, baby. I think Mac Jones is going to come out.
Let's go. Mac 10 in the building, baby.
Mac at 3. It was always Mac at 3. Mac Jones, I think he's going to come out and have a great game. He's going to make Kyle Shanahan look like a genius inside the building because not everybody knows that that's who he reportedly wanted at 3, right? I'm going to say Mac has 300 plus yards and 3 touchdowns.
Holy
Give it to me. Give it to me.
What? I don't even want to go after that. That is absolutely insane. That is crazy to me. All right, now I got to think outside the box. Okay. All right. I'm gonna play to your Mac Jones take. Quick throws. You know what? I'm gonna go with Juwan Jennings.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with Juwan Jennings. Now, here's why. I think that every time Juwan Jennings hears Kendrick Bourne's name, he says, I got to step up. I think that he is watching all these shows. I think he's hearing what everyone says. He's got rapport with Mac Jones already. He knows the offense. And he was Juwan before Juwan. And Juwan says, oh, no, fuck that. I got incentives I got to earn. I got to go out there and show these guys that I am the guy here in San Francisco. And I was the number 1 wide receiver last year. I almost had 1,000 yards. It's me. This is my house. And I'm the biggest target on the team now that George Kittle isn't here. I'm the 6'4", 6'5" guy, right? This is my house. Yep. So I'm going to go with Juwan Jennings. I'm going to go with 15 targets, 11 receptions. I'm going to go with 172 yards and 2 touchdowns.
172 yards, 2 touchdowns.
On 11 receptions.
Damn.
11 receptions.
Play the air horn. Play the air horn.
Juwan Jennings. There it is, baby. Yes,
Damn.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I love that. Okay. Defensive player of the game predictions.
Hey, did we see Huff?
Yeah, he played.
What did he do? He played, but did he do anything?
He was on he got a pressure on the last play of the game. I know that. He was right there with
the
Nick
fumble,
Bosa.
the forced fumble.
He was right there.
They had them on the same side,
I think they met.
or with like a stunt type of thing. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
Got you. What's in that hookah, Mike? Yo, Justin's always beefing with my hookah. He's the one that made me start going on mute when I'm smoking. But it's cool. It's cool. I appreciate it, man. And I listen. I want this experience to be good for you guys, just like it is for me. So I get it.
Okay. Defensive player of the game. D. Winters. Give me D. Winters. I've mentioned him earlier. I think he's got the speed to stick with Kamara, the hard-hitting ability to knock out anything, and I think he could possibly match up with Juwan Johnson down the field. We saw him play pass defense against Christian McCaffrey. Looked pretty good in practice, so give me D. Winters. I'm going to say 8 tackles and a forced fumble. Mike?
That's solid right there. I do like that. I like that a lot, actually. All right. I'm going to go outside the box here. I'm going to go with someone in the secondary. Man. What's my guy's name? What is his name? He was all over the field. Chase Lucas.
Oh!
I'm going to go with Chase Lucas. This guy, is this the guy I want to say? This is the guy I want to say.
The preseason standout?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that he's going to get in here. He's going to make a lot of plays. I think that he's going to get in. Do you have the snap counts from last game?
I don't, but I could pull them up.
If you could pull up the snap, I want to know how many special teams and how many defensive snaps he had before I finalize this, because I got a feeling that whoever our third or fourth corner is, that's who they're going to try to target the most. And I think he's going to be all over the place.
I don't see him at all.
He didn't get any defensive snaps?
I see Marcus Siegel with 52, Jason Pinnock 52, Bernardo Green 51, Lenore 51, Stout 29, Brown 2.
Wow.
Maybe he played special
all
teams.
special teams. All right, I got to take it back then. I can't have him as a defensive player, and he's only special teams. All right, I'm going to walk that back then. I'm going to go with my guy, Diamador Lenore. Fuck it. I'm going to go with Lenore. This is not going to come as a surprise, but he's not going to allow any touchdowns. Lenore just doesn't give up touchdowns, right? Like he's a season plus in, no touchdowns allowed. I'm going to say 4 PBUs, no picks. I'm not going to give him any picks, but I will say this: he will have a forced fumble.
Okay.
Lenore will have a forced fumble.
Okay.
So he's gonna be my guy. Damn it, man! I really wish that Lucas was getting some defensive snaps. Well, I can't believe they didn't bring him in. Like they just Upton's healthy and just threw him in there. Like he didn't rotate at all.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And
interesting.
Upton wasn't that great. Do you have PFF pulled up? I
don't.
Do you have a? Okay, I don't think that Upton Stout was all that like last week. I felt like he might have been like the choice of defenders for the offense to go at. So it's kind of odd.
I have his PFF grade here if you want it.
Yeah, please tell me what that was, because I just don't understand.
32.5.
Jesus Christ. Like, you're telling me Lucas couldn't get in? All right, whatever. We'll see. We'll see. He like that grade, what you just told me, makes me want to say, all right, never mind. Lucas is going to get some reps now, right? But we'll watch the snap count. We'll see if he gets worked in there, because Lucas was all over the field in preseason. He was a stud, man. He was really answering the bell, and I felt like he deserved some snaps. But I also understand that we didn't see Upton Stout all preseason, right? And so I think the Niners felt like, oh, we got something here, but I don't think that Upton Stout played that well. So maybe they should make him a little bit more of a rotational guy, give Chase Lucas some more opportunities to see what he can do out there. So I do like that, but I can't go from 0 to being the defensive player of the game. So I'm just going to take the safe guy and go with Lenore.
Okay. All right. And by the way, in Matt's honor, Nick Bosa, 3 sacks and a forced fumble. Recovery.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt.
He didn't get the 3 sacks. He did get 1, but he didn't get the 3 sacks, man. But he did get the forced fumble. The game, what a time to do it, too.
I think he would trade the 3 sacks for the sack, forced fumble, and recovery all in one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I will say this. Nick Bosa didn't light up the stat sheet. Man, he was disruptive in this game.
He was all over.
I tell you guys all the time that my favorite Nick Bosa game was a game that he had no sacks against the Saints a couple years ago, right? But he was just all over Drew Brees in that game, right? Like, I mean, all over Drew Brees. No sacks at all. And it's easy to say, oh, what's Nick Bosa's next best game? A lot of people are going to tell you that Cleveland game, right, or the Washington game. Those aren't my favorite moments from Nick Bosa. It was the games that he made them. He was a monster against the run. He was all over the quarterback. No sacks, but he got hits and pressures and hurries and all that. This past game was reminiscent of that. And he was moving all over the defensive line. He was left side, right side, middle. Like, he was all over the place. So very, very good game by Nick Bosa. That's the Nick Bosa that we were expecting to see going forward, right? You're going to say, oh, it was just one sack. How can you say that? He's on pace for 17 sacks this season.
That's right.
We would all applaud that. You know what I'm saying? He's on pace for 17 forced fumbles this season. We would all applaud that. So Nick Bosa did absolutely have a good game. And for someone who has been down on him, I was really hard on Nick Bosa this offseason. Since signing that contract, I just felt like he's been a shell of himself. It was really good to see him get back out there and be as disruptive as he was.
Yeah. Okay. Final score predictions. Get your predictions in the chat. We want to see them. By the way, is it pronounced Neil or is it Nihil? Nihil?
It's probably Nail.
Nail?
It's probably Nail.
I know a guy who is spelled like this, but it's pronounced Neil.
Oh.
Let us know. Okay.
Type it phonetically in the chat if you can.
Yes, please. Final score predictions. I got the
You better
Niners.
not take my score. You better not take my score.
You took my score last week, and you were
All
pretty
right, so
damn
you go.
spot
Okay.
on. I got the Niners 24-16. That's what I got. I don't know
Oh,
what you
my
have.
God. I got 24-17.
No
I got the
way!
Niners winning by 7. I
way!
swear. I swear. My scores have been going up and down. I think at one point I had the Niners 27. But I like 24-17. You got 24-17 is for me. You got 23. What'd you say?
24-16.
24-16. Yeah, I like that.
What is the let's see what the line is.
I think the line's only like 3.5 or something like that, right?
3.5, correct.
Yeah, I mean, once we lost Brock Purdy, it drops dramatically.
Right. And I
but
don't blame
think
him.
that, yeah, no, that's what they're supposed to do. But I do think that Mac Jones is going to be better than what people think. All right, my final question to you is this. If Mac Jones goes out there and has the game that he has, that you said he was going to have, will there be talks amongst national media? I'm talking ESPN and NFL Network, NFL Radio on Sirius XM about a quarterback controversy?
No, but if it happens again next week, yes.
Okay.
That's my
All
take.
right, that's it.
I think
That's all I
enough
got.
of them are aware of the situation and will realize how dumb it will sound after one game. They just paid Brock Purdy a ton of money. You know, like it's not going to be a controversy after one game versus the lowly Saints, knock on wood. But
Okay.
if it happens twice, then I think the media starts generating. They gotta talk about something. They have all these shows on every day.
49er fans are going to be so pissed off. The home opener is going to have Mac Jones in there, no George Kittle. Like, this is, oh my God. Oh my God. That's great. I can't wait. I just want to stir the pot some more. All right, anyway, there we go.
Justin says, I just want to say Grant's my all-time fave. I haven't seen his show today because y'all were live and so incredibly entertaining. So thank you. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
Justin, my goal is to become your favorite. I want to surpass Grant. So you let me know what we got to do to make that happen. If you want more hot takes, you got to let me know, man. I'm here for it. I have takes that I save and keep in reserve because I don't want to offend people. I don't want to piss people off. But you know, you let me know what we got to do to climb your ladder of favorites, and we'll definitely get that done.
I think he said, do more hookah into the mic. Directly into the mic. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He likes that gurgling sound. That
Yeah.
there you go, Justin. This one's for you, man.
I'm just kidding. Niner Faithful, good point. They only put up 13 points to the Cards last week. But, you know, matchups, styles make fights. So you never know.
But they also get better. You know, that was week 1. Like, you got to let them work and develop their skills and all that stuff. So they'll get it together.
Okay. Mike, you and Wayne sends me to the moon with laughter. There you
We
go.
get so far off topic on that show. It's not even funny. Oh, my
There you
God.
go. All right.
This was the first show that I've seen in a long time with not a single super chat. Not one super chat, right?
Yeah. It's been a
All right,
while.
guys. I'm watching you guys out there. We got to figure out how to turn it up and make people feel like they got to bring the super chats. But I have my ideas behind that, so we'll talk off air.
Okay.
But we do appreciate you all out there. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed this show. If you guys are looking for some more content, man, you guys know where to find me. For those of you who are watching right now on 49ers Hive, make sure you head on over to Nothing But Niners on YouTube. Please, guys, like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and please leave comments. I do look at the comments. I may not get a chance to respond to all of them, but I do at least like, heart them, and so you guys will see that. And then if you're looking for somewhere to watch the games, right, a lot of times people are saying, man, this game isn't going to be on my local network. I don't want to pay for DirecTV. You guys can head on over. It's going to pop up at the bottom of the screen in 1 second. It's going to be patreon.com/NB9ERS. It's not there still, but you guys will see it. Zach.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Zach. I'm stalling for it. Patreon.com. There it is underneath Zach. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. You guys head on over there. $5 tier and higher during the regular season. That's where you guys get to watch the game. If you think my commentary is crazy here, you guys are going to absolutely lose your minds. Zach, can I send? Oh, I wish I could send you a video for you to play on the show really quick, but I don't want to take up too much time. I'm going to post it in our chat anyway, just because I do want you to see it. But dude, like, I lost my mind when we got that fumble at the end of the game, man. Like, when I tell you I went crazy, dude.
Oh, I think I retweeted it, didn't I?
Oh, that's right. I did post it on Twitter.
Yeah,
I did post it on Twitter.
Give
Let me
the
tell you
folks a
guys
taste.
something. Like, this is the kind of, believe it or not, I am on the screen, right? But I make myself so small and minute. Like, you see the 49ers Hive symbol up above me? I'm even smaller than that, right? And we watch the game together over on game days, man, and we have so much fun. So there's a lot of people out there who say, oh, I want to see more content, more whatever. You get it all on Patreon. I bring you guys my car ride confessions. I have an over an hour-long commute to work every day, and when the traffic gets bad, I hit record, and I share my sincere thoughts, my not that they're political or anything like that. I don't do that. But when I like my PC thoughts, right? Like,
Okay.
I'll tell you guys exactly how I'm feeling about anybody on this team, the coaches on this team, right? I share all those real thoughts. Here we go. This is it right here. So I share my thoughts with you guys live. So head on over to patreon.com. We watch the game. It looks just like this. This is actually from a screenshot from the Patreon. NFL is probably going to try to clip this up. So
That was awesome.
and that's how it is, man. We turn up all the time. Guys at my job, I don't even know how they saw that. Guys at my job was like, Mike, every time you guys get a fumble, you got to make that a sound clip and just push the button. We got the fucking ball.
Seriously.
So we have a lot of fun over there, guys. So don't be the last person to join the Patreon party. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. $5 tier and higher to make it to the game day watch. All right. It's not just me all the time. We get Mike NY to the Bay. Sometimes we get Tony. If Tony ever comes back and talks to me again, he's in there sometimes as well. And it's open to anybody, all of my guys. I'm not opposed to having Zach or Matt in there with me as well. So we have a lot of fun. And I do need to do more good luck cheers, Niner Faithful. You are right. All right, I'm done. That's it.
All right, yeah, go check it out, guys.
I'm not done. Sorry. If you are watching this show right now, Niner Faithful, if you're watching the show right now from the Nothing But Niners channel, you best get your asses on over to 49ers Hive on YouTube and make sure you guys subscribe there as well.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Mike. Nihil, it's got to be better than watching David Bruce's live bitching about Beyonce for whatever reason. Lol. Damn. That's funny.
Did he ever type his name phonetically like we asked him to do?
He did it. I didn't. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't see it. I was looking.
Crappy first half. Second. I'm looking through his comments right now. I didn't see it. Upton got picked on last week. All right, he didn't want to say it. All right, that's fine.
Appreciate you guys. All right. That's going to do it for tonight's show. Go subscribe to patreon.com/NB9ERS. Go follow Nothing But Niners on Instagram. Follow both of our personal pages on X. The handles are on the screen below. Follow Nothing But Niners and 49ers Hive on X. And subscribe to the channels. It means more than you guys know. We appreciate you guys rocking with us this Friday night. We will be back Sunday afternoon, correct?
Yeah, I'm with it.
Sunday afternoon with a recap show. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Go Niners. Mike, you want to sign us off?
Yeah, let me do my best Matt impression. The 49ers have a tough game coming up here, guys. We know that there's no George Kittle, who's now on IR. We don't have Brock Purdy. Trent Williams is a little banged up. But we do have some reinforcements coming back in the Jordan guys, Jordan Watkins as well as Jordan James. But this is going to be a tough game over in New Orleans. We do have the faith that we can get this win. Nick Bosa, defensive player of the game. So stay tuned. We're going to be back to you guys. Make sure you go like and subscribe. And as always, go Niners.